Good evening, everybody. Let's kick this off with a little bit of video to begin with. See what we think tonight.
It's reasons to send the youth of this nation into Iraq. So if the entire fucking administration at that time can defraud the entire fucking world to send us to war and fuck us up both physically and mentally, then I don't give two shits if a handful of veterans are able to pull a fast one and get fucking paid. Maybe take a bit of that $1 trillion defense budget and line the pockets of the people you fucked up for a change, and then take a Patriot missile and go fuck yourself. This administration is looking at the money being spent to care for veterans, and their only conclusion is that veterans are defrauding the VA. So let me tell you how I feel about the VA using AI to reevaluate disability claims for fraud. The United States of fucking America lied about its reasons to send the youth of this nation into Iraq. So if the entire fucking administration at that time can defraud the entire fucking world to send us to war and fuck us up both physically and mentally, then I don't give two shits if a handful of veterans are able to pull a fast one and get fucking paid. Maybe take a bit of that $1 trillion defense budget and line the pockets of the people you fucked up for a change, and then take a Patriot missile and go fuck yourself.
All right, y'all. So, welcome to the Hillbilly Think Tank. This is Spencer Keck, and I am coming at you live from Tunnel Hills. I am the educated hillbilly. No, that's not an oxymoron. Don't call me a moron. Y'all, here in Hardin County, Kentucky, we know that life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is what makes life worth living. That's what makes us free. That's what makes us proud to be Americans. And when you try to take it away from us, that's fighting terms. So, as I am running for Hardin County Magistrate, District 3, everything I ask myself when it comes to what should I vote on, what should I push for, my biggest question is, am I going to help Hardin County folks with their pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness? Or will I be hindering it? So we're all in this together. That's the biggest thing we got to think about. Now, as we say that, just had that little rant video there because there is a whistleblower who's reporting that as they worked for DOGE, there was a DOGE employee that took away over 500,000 Social Security numbers in order to sell it to his private employer. Guys, DOGE did not save us any money at all. And for us veterans, it screwed us over the most because they took all of our private information from the VA, all of our medical history, our service history, anything that the VA had stored about us that's supposed to be protected by HIPAA, that's the Privacy Act, and it's now under the thumb of Elon Musk and those teenagers and early 20-somethings that worked for him in DOGE. And they don't care that they are selling our private information to other companies, private companies that should have nothing to do with my private information. So that's why my title is, do we have a right to privacy? in this digital age, in this social media age, in this age where we are all commodities to industries? That's what I want to know. What do you say? And let's just have a little bit of reporting on this so we can make sure that I'm not just pulling this out of my keister. All right. Which I'm not, but I will pull this report up here for us and play it here in a second. Let me share the screen. So we'll share this, see what I'm talking about. So, you know, I'm not pulling it out of my wazoo, but it's actually true.
I'm Craig Negrelli. In today's Media Miss Minute, we're looking at two stories that received little attention from partisan media outlets, starting with what the right is ignoring. A whistleblower from the Department of Government Efficiency says a former employee used DOGE software to copy Americans' personal data. The whistleblower says the employee copied information from two Social Security Administration databases, which contain records of more than 500 million living and dead Americans, onto a thumb drive. He also reportedly told colleagues he planned to share the data with his new private employer. Now to what the left is overlooking. CNN anchor Abby Phillip has apologized for how she described an ISIS-inspired bomb attack in New York City during protests last weekend. Phillip said on air Saturday that it was, quote, an attempted terror attack against New York Mayor Zoran Mamdani. Explosives were thrown outside Mamdani.
All right. So, y'all, when I worked for the Department of the Navy, the Department of Defense, we could not take thumb drives anywhere near government computers. It was absolutely illegal. Same thing when I worked for Homeland Security for about a year and a half, 2 years, as a supervisor of records, immigration records. We could not take a thumb drive or any other means of capturing information from a computer. We couldn't take anything near the computers. We could not share or capture private information, government information of any sort, let alone HIPAA or personal information on people that the government was providing services to. So for us to allow Elon fucking Musk to run roughshod through the VA using DOGE and AI to bring efficiency, this is absolute horse shit. And I'm sorry if this isn't PG enough for you. But I serve my nation with honor, as did so many hundreds of thousands of other folks. There is no reason whatsoever that he should have been allowed anywhere near VA computers with DOGE. He should not have had our information. So the fact that 500 million or more than 500 million Americans have their private information, their social security numbers, that these young employees of DOGE are selling to private employers, private companies. This should be an absolute outrage. Why is no one reporting on this? That's what I want to know. Y'all, what do you say? Do we have a right to privacy in this age, in this digital age? We are all commodities. Why should we allow this? Why has this been allowed? This is an absolute outrage. Is my microphone working? That's my question. Did I mess that up? Hopefully it is working. I can't hear it in my speaker. Oh man, have I messed up my audio? Nope, looks like it's working. All right. So, what do we say? This is an outrage to me. Absolutely over the top outrage. You know, at the same time this is going on, we found this out. Supposedly, the FBI warned California police that Iran is planning a seaborne attack with drones. Does that sound like Wag the Dog? Anybody seen that movie? Where they're trying to make something up to scare us and then planning a false flag operation? Well, I want to know. I don't trust the FBI anymore. But that's the reporting. So take it as you wish with a grain of salt. Now, got some good things to think about. If you haven't heard about Whiskey House, Kentucky, you know, they opened up a state-of-the-art rick house here in Elizabethtown. And I counted up the employees that they have there, and we got 68 employees here in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. State-of-the-art rick house, supposed to be the safest rick house in the industry. And they're claiming they're paying the top rate wages and benefits packages. So we need some good news here in Hardin County. I thought I would bring that to your attention. Not sure how many people have seen that report. I'm excited. You know, we lost 1,600 jobs in Glendale when the Ford Blue Oval SK EV battery plant closed down after only being open 2 or 3 months. So that's some good reporting, good news. Everybody, let's go check that out. Welcome them to Elizabethtown. You know, they opened up, I believe it was January. Looks like some people have missed reporting on that extensively and letting it know, hey, we got 68 employees from what I counted on their website. Might be even more. They're asking also for people to apply that need a good job. So, hey, just thought I'd push that out there. All right, y'all. So let's also keep in our hearts the 2 sailors on the USS Gerald Ford. They're out there in the Red Sea in support of the ongoing operations, and 2 sailors were injured in a fire on that ship. So, you know, people don't realize it, but Navy ships are floating basically power plants. You know, you've got a nuclear reactor on that ship. It's a nuclear power plant. You've got all kinds of dangerous operations going on when you launch those jets off of aircraft carriers. That's high propulsion being used to launch those planes, to catapult them off. Those catapults are dangerous themselves. Yeah. So my heart goes out to them. I had to treat some serious burns before on ship that I was stationed on. And I just, yeah, anytime I hear that, that worries me. And my heart goes out to them. So I'm remembering them tonight, calling out. Y'all, here in Kentucky, we love our neighbors as ourselves because we know that in Kentucky, united we stand, divided we fall. And if we're loving our neighbors as ourselves, there's no way we can be divided and we won't fall. So we recognize also that we are our brother's keepers. We are our sister's keepers. Y'all remember everyone deployed? We've got soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, all deployed right now, all over the place, all over the world, from the Caribbean over to the Middle East. So let's think of them. And y'all, They still haven't done everything they should with the Epstein files. Let's don't forget that. There's a reason for this treason. All right, y'all. Bless your corazon. Have a great evening. Until tomorrow night.
What do you see? What do you see? Oh my gosh, is it scary? You scared? Okay. Maybe a trail in the cup.